Hello, am I audible? Adrian, Saif, Shonaf, Shadab.
Yeah, audible.
Yeah, actually, does anyone like facing an issue while coming on the laptop via Zoom?
Yeah. There's some issue with the
Cloud.
Cloudflare. Yeah, Cloudflare.
That's it. So
क्यों
that's
आ रहा
what
है
I,
ज्वाइनिंग में?
that's what I felt.
हाँ, इन दोनों का नहीं हुआ। मैं मेरे हो गया यहाँ से किया तो मैंने।
हाँ, क्योंकि
इससे करता क्या?
the
क्या?
same issue I'm also facing.
कनेक्ट भी नहीं हो रहा। कनेक्ट बंद हो गया तेरा, डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता। ठीक है, ठीक है।
Okay, guys.
Um, Nishant,
हाँ, हाँ सुना.
what's the issue? Cause then we we cannot then present. Like we need to
Yes,
share
yes. That,
screen, right?
so that's what I'm sharing. I guess the problem is in the Zoom, I guess. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. But I'm
Uh,
still trying continuously कि अगर वो हो जाता है so that's the best. We can just try it like by using mobile data with
Still
someone.
not working. I tried.
Okay.
I'm on mobile data itself.
Okay. So it is showing basically that please unblock challenges.cloudflare.com to proceed.
Yeah, same.
Hmm. Zoom needs to review the security of your connection before proceeding. So which kind of security is talking about actually? I don't know.
So, Shaunak, you're in the laptop or in the mobile?
No, right now I'm in mobile, but I'm trying on my laptop.
Okay. I'm able to log in the laptop. I don't know why.
No, even I asked Deep also. Even he's facing
Hmm.
the same issue and he's not able to join.
Hmm. Let me check.
So because it is already 7:05, so I guess जो शेयर कर सकता है so they can share the PPT or their deck to someone who can share and then they can explain.
Because the corporate video was also on my laptop. I cannot present it from there.
Mm. Okay.
Uh, so it's just a web issue, or is it like from phone everyone can join?
No, yeah, I am still not able to join the laptop.
Nishant?
हाँ शौनक.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Apparently, Cloudflare is down, which includes Twitter, ChatGPT, Zoom, everything is down.
Okay, got it.
It's 40 minutes. Like I was checking news.
Okay, got it.
So it's been an hour, it's down.
No. Basically S.1 is working, but अभी हम लोग ट्राई कर रहे हैं इसको ज्वाइन करने का. फोन से ज्वाइन करके स्विच कर रहे हैं तो चल जा रहा है आई थिंक.
Yeah,
try it
but I cannot we cannot present on from phone. So that's the issue here.
No. Join from phone. Okay, and from the laptop, just click on the switch option. The switch option, which will take it from the phone to the laptop.
Okay, so you need to open the Zoom app in your laptop first. Okay.
मैंने लिंक डाली है, उससे ओपन हो रहा है शायद. डीडीपी टीम पे मैंने लिंक डाली है.
नहीं हो रहा. उससे मैंने चेक किया, नहीं हो रहा.
इनका हो गया ना, सर का भी हो गया.
इसका हुआ,
चलो मेरा तो हो गया.
गति का हुआ.
जो लिंक मैंने डाली उससे हो गया इन दोनों का.
चलो एनीवेज मैं तो आ गया.
सुमित सिर्फ स्क्रीन शेयर कर.
स्क्रीन शेयर करूँ मैं क्या अभी?
पॉज करें. टाइटल.
ओ 1 सेकंड. पहले तो वो शेयर करना पड़ेगा.
हाय गाइस,
हाय प्रतीक.
ये कौन सा है? R.1 है? हाँ,
R.1. R.1.
ओके, ऑलराइट, 1 सेकंड. हाँ प्रेरणा,
हाँ, मैं ज्वाइन करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. मैंने आपको फोटो खींच के भेजा है. सामने लिखा हुआ आ रहा है जूम नीड्स टू.
अच्छा ठीक है, समझ गया. मैं लिंक भेजता हूँ, नया लिंक भेजता हूँ तेरे को, ठीक है?
अच्छा.
हाउ मेनी पीपल आर देयर, इडियट?
14 total.
Hmm?
Total 14.
अच्छा, ओके, 1 सेकंड. हाँ, लेट मी जस्ट टेक केयर ऑफ दिस. ओके, शुड वी स्टार्ट?
Second. Abhay.
Who all are there in the crowd, Adrian?
All are people. This one.
Abhay is not there right now.
Abhay is not yet joined. He's from Dakotas.
या मैं ज्वाइन हो गया है.
अच्छा,
हाँ ज्वाइन हो गया.
तो अभी अपने को जजेस चाहिए. लक्ष्मी, यू हैंडल रिसर्च टुडे.
ओके सर.
Deep.
Maitri is there for presentation. For logic, who should I choose? Rahul? चल, राहुल तो टीम का है. चलो, और कौन है? कोई और करेगा लॉजिक हैंडल? कौन कर सकता है?
Nishan.
नहीं, निशा. ये राहुल कैन डू, राइट? He is not any of the teams. Okay, Rahul, you handle logic.
सर मेरे साइड से इशू बहुत आ रहा है सर. इंटरनेट का भी आ रहा है. कोई
अच्छा,
दूसरा.
नहीं, वो इंटरनेट का तो सबका ही आ रहा था, इसलिए तेरा भी आ रहा है. बट ठीक है. कौन और कौन है? निशांत,
हाँ सर.
यू हैंडल लॉजिक.
ठीक है सर. ओके.
पता है ना तुमको पॉइंट्स कैसे देने हैं?
यस सर. वो 20 out of 20.
ठीक है, हर क्वेश्चन के बाद मेरे को भेज देना, ठीक है?
Okay,
Pratik,
sir.
you have to wait for Deep.
1 second. हाँ, ओके, बोलो.
सर आप अपने अकाउंट में लॉगिन कर पा रहे हो कि सब्सक्रिप्शन तो ऐड नहीं हुआ ना अपना?
नहीं, सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं, कुछ ओवरऑल चक्कर है, सबका चक्कर है.
ठीक है, मैं बस घर पहुंच रहा हूँ सर. मैं लॉगिन करके देख ले रहा हूँ तुरंत.
ठीक है, चल,
निकल गया हूँ मैं यहाँ से.
ठीक है. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट गाइस. ठीक है. ओके, सो
Deep is not here.
Hmm?
Deep is not
He
here.
Deep is
Sure,
not.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, so the team is there, right? There's Deep, there's Shaunak. Is Shaunak there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Shaunak is there.
Acha, theek hai. All right, let's start then. Okay. So just a brief review. The topic for today is what exactly is the topic? Can the manufacturing? Go ahead, Deep. Can you read the topic?
I'll read it. I guess Deep is. Can the manufacturing sector in India become stronger?
Okay. Can the manufacturing sector in India become stronger? That is the topic. The whole idea of this debate is to ensure that the youngsters of today can get exposure and understand what challenges India faces in becoming a leader in manufacturing. You know, from the numbers I gathered, from whatever I heard from both sides preparing, I think, you know, our share of the global manufacturing industry is extremely low, and I think it is like 4% or something, while for countries like China it is more like 24-25%. So for us to leapfrog forward, we believe that we have to become stronger in the manufacturing area. And today, by hearing both sides, we'll get a better understanding of where we are lagging behind and what we can do to fulfill the gap. So best of luck to both the teams. By the way, the winner of today's debate will directly go to the first semi-finals between the instructor team and the team that wins. So after the debate ends, we will have a quick toss to decide which team gets to get the preference for choosing their topic for the semi-finals. So all the best to both the teams. There is the product development team and the marketing team. Let us see which team does better. I think the product development team is talking against the topic, that it believes that India cannot become stronger, while the marketing team is talking for the topic. Which team wants to go ahead first?
Are we supposed to share the corporate video?
Sure. We'll share the corporate video, but let's just quickly decide which team wants to go first. Okay, marketing team, you go ahead first. Okay, and let's share the corporate video.
Sure, give me a second. Is it?
One man of today leads a better lifestyle than the kings and
Is it audible?
Yes.
queens of 100 years ago. Not because he has as much money as they did, but because of innovations and advancements in technology and society. These advancements promise better health, better hygiene, and better diet to the common man than the kings of the past had. This is the true advantage of innovations brought about by positive business processes. The Indian stock market represents one such positive business process. Come to Dozen Diamonds, where we have dared to imagine an Indian stock market.
What happened? Did we lose sound?
Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
yes.
Yes,
We
yes.
lost the sound,
We lost
sir.
the sound.
Yes.
साउंड नहीं आ रहा है ना?
हाँ, नहीं आ रहा.
चलो स्टॉप करते हैं, चालू करते हैं डिबेट। या guys, let's get started with the debate.
सोनक, आई थिंक सोनक को साउंड आ रहा है इसलिए उसको।
नहीं, शोनक इज आई गेस।
सोनक शेयर कर रहा है, उसको साउंड आ रहा होगा ना, इसलिए हमारी आवाज नहीं आ रही उसको।
राइट राइट।
चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं। Guys,
marketing team, please start.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, Deep is presenting.
क्या चल रहा है? हेलो।
हाँ सर, अभी कुछ प्रेजेंट तो नहीं हो रहा है।
कुछ
थिंक इज ट्राइंग।
क्या हो क्या रहा है?
I don't know.
Shaunak?
He is presenting. Just give me a minute. Deep is presenting.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, get started.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Anyway, yeah. And is my screen visible? My presentation?
Yes. Everything is fine. Just get started.
Okay. So the question is, can the manufacturing sector in India become stronger? The first question is, India's current infrastructure, both physical and digital, robust enough to support a globally competitive manufacturing ecosystem? Let's understand some figures. For instance, expansion of national highway network. National highway network has increased by 60% from 91,287 kilometer in 2014 to 146,195 kilometer. And length of national high-speed corridors has expanded.
I don't know whether you are expecting us to understand what 146,159 means. Can you quote it in a number form? Yeah.
Okay, so it has increased by 60% from 91,287 kilometer to 146,195 kilometer. And length of national high-speed corridors has expanded from 93 kilometer to 2,474 kilometer at present. And same goes to length of 4-lane and above national highways that have increased by 2.5 times from 18,278 kilometer to 45,947 kilometer, as illustrated by the graph also.
In what period are we talking about? What period? From
14 to at present.
Achha.
As per Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, total cargo handled is 817.98 million tons. And as shown by the graph, it shows the 10-year trend till March 2024. Average ship turnaround time has decreased from 93.59 hours to 48.06 hours as per Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. And major Indian ports also reported it has reduced container turnaround time to 22.57 hours. Cargo handling grew 4.3% from 819 tons to 855 tons, and it is during the year 23-24 to FY 24-25. It highlights the resilience and capacity of major ports in accommodating rising trade volumes. As per Ministry of Communications, internet connections also jumped from 25.15 crore in 2014 to 96.96 crore in 2024. 4.74 lakh 5G towers installed with and 99.6% district coverage has been achieved. Now, again, as per Ministry of Communications, in April 2025, 1,867.67 excuse me, 0.7 crore UPI transactions have been managed, which was worth 24.77 lakh crore. Users, 460 million people used it, with 65 million merchants. And global share, India handled or managed 49% of global real-time transactions. And now the global reach of UPI is in more than 7+ countries. Coming to Logistics Performance Index, India is right now ranked at 38. Overall, average LPI is 3.4 across components like customs, infrastructure, international shipments, logistics quality, tracking, and timeliness. So implications are pretty obvious in terms of the numbers show that there is a very strong physical and digital infrastructure. It's
Half a
already
minute left. Yeah.
and capable of supporting a globally competitive manufacturing system, in terms of rapid highway expansion that improves inland connectivity, higher port throughput that also improves faster turnaround time, and universal mobile coverage and stronger LPI scores, especially in international shipments and timeliness that show progress in trade logistics as well. Thank you.
Deep, do you have a PPT? I can't see the full screen together in one slide. I guess it's a PDF.
Yeah, it's a PDF.
It's a PDF because the site is also down, so we download the PDF prior.
Okay, you don't have a PPT as of now.
Okay, go ahead, product development team.
Yes, sir.
बोलो अबे।
सर मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल है सर?
हाँ सब
visible है।
ठीक है सर। सर क्वेश्चन है सर, इज इंडियाज करंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर both physical and digital robust enough to support a globally competitive manufacturing ecosystem? लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट रियलिटी चेक कर दे। इंडिया का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट 7.97% ऑफ जीडीपी है। पहले 13-14% था। इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ है पर अभी ग्लोबली कॉम्पिटिटिव नहीं है। जापान का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट 3.8% है, उसका 8.7%, और वहाँ के नेटवर्क ज़्यादा इफिशिएंट और टेक्नोलॉजी ड्राइवन है। चाइना का 14.1% दिख रहा है पर वो मिसलीडिंग है। चाइना का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्केल इतना बड़ा है कि उनकी पर यूनिट कॉस्ट इंडिया से काफ़ी कम है। ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन सिर्फ परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी से डिसाइड नहीं करते, दे फोकस ऑन लाइक स्पीड हो गया, इंटीग्रेशन हो गया, रिलायबिलिटी और इफिशिएंसी भी मैटर करती है। तो इसलिए इंडिया अभी भी पीछे है। अभी पोर्ट के परफॉर्मेंस आप देखते हैं, अभी वर्ल्ड बैंक के ग्लोबल कंटेनर पोर्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स के हिसाब से इंडियन पोर्ट का टर्न अराउंड टाइम 60 to 70 आवर्स है। और चाइना और सिंगापुर का मतलब 20 पर आवर से भी मतलब नीचे है। कुछ हाई परफॉर्मिंग पोर्ट्स भी जैसे मुंद्रा या विजाग है, पर ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर नेशनल एवरेज देखते, आइसोलेटेड ऐसे एग्जांपल नहीं देखते हो। जितना ज़्यादा टाइम लगेगा उतना ज़्यादा फिर मनी भी लगेगा मतलब। तो अभी पावर सरप्लस इज नॉट इक्वल टू पावर रिलायबिलिटी। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एक्सेस इंप्रूव हुआ है इंडिया में, जो अच्छा भी है, पर इंडस्ट्रियल यूजर्स फेस करते हैं कुछ प्रॉब्लम, जैसे हो गया वोल्टेज फ्लक्चुएशन, फ्रीक्वेंट आउटेजेस, हाई इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रैफिक हो गया, बैकअप जनरेटर कॉस्ट हो गया, जो कि मतलब 10 to 50% मतलब कॉस्ट बढ़ाता है, जो मतलब जो लगेगा तब। अभी लैंड एक्विजिशन बॉटलनेक, ये भी एक बड़ा बॉटलनेक प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब बड़ा एक प्रॉब्लम है। अभी भी इंडिया इंडिया की बिगेस्ट बॉटलनेक ये लीगल डिस्प्यूट हो गया, इन्वायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस हो गए, और कंपेन्सेशन नेगोशिएशन फैक्ट्री को स्लो करते हैं। 80% न्यू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टेट लेवल लैंड प्रोसेस पे डिपेंड करता है, और डिलेस कॉमन है। और वियतनाम और चाइना में लैंड एक्सेस फास्ट और प्रेडिक्टेबल है। अभी डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देखते हैं। कंज्यूमर डिजिटल इज नॉट इक्वल टू इंडस्ट्रियल डिजिटल। इंडिया को डिजिटल पावर हाउस बोला जाता है मोस्टली कंज्यूमर डिजिटल यूज के लिए, जैसे कि हो गया मतलब यूपीआई हो गया, एप्स हो गया, डेटा कंजम्पशन। इंडस्ट्रियल मतलब इंडस्ट्रियल डिजिटलाइजेशन अलग चीज है। अभी रोबोटिक के डेटा के हिसाब से अभी देखो, इंडिया में 4 रोबोट से पर मतलब 10,000 मतलब वर्कर्स पर। और वही देखो अपन चाइना में देखेंगे तो 246 है, और साउथ कोरिया में मतलब 1,000 है। साउथ कोरिया में मतलब वियतनाम में तो इंक्रीज हो रहा है, मतलब डे बाय डे इंक्रीज ही हो रहा है उधर। यूपीआई एडॉप्शन का मतलब नहीं है कि फैक्ट्री ऑटोमेटेड है। इंडस्ट्री 4.0 के लिए क्या अपने को रोबोटिक चाहिए, सेंसर चाहिए, आईओटी इनेबल फैक्ट्रीज भी चाहिए, तो चीजें मैटर करती है ये भी। अभी लॉजिस्टिक फ्रेगमेंटेशन परसिस्ट। एक्सेसिव चेक पॉइंट्स है इंडिया में, इनकंसिस्टेंट स्टेट रूल्स है, और कंप्लायंस फ्रिक्शन से इंटरस्टेट मूवमेंट स्लो और अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है। तो ग्लोबल मैन्युफैक्चर चाहते हैं सीमलेस इन टू इन मोबाइलिटी, पार्शियल इम्प्रूवमेंट से काम मतलब नहीं चलता ना फिर। अभी परफॉर्मेंस स्टैंडर्ड अपन देखते हैं तो ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन फेयरनेस से नहीं, परफॉर्मेंस से अपन जज करते हैं। आइसोलेटेड सक्सेस स्टोरी भी है, मतलब कुछ अच्छे पोर्ट्स या एप्स पूरे सिस्टम को रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर सकते, और नेशन वाइड इफिशियंसी भी रिक्वायर्ड है। कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस के लिए कंसिस्टेंसी, प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी और ऑटोमेशन चाहिए। इंडिया करंट रियलिटी क्या है पता है? प्रोग्रेस है इंडिया की, लेकिन ग्लोबल कंपटीशन के लिए प्रोग्रेस की मतलब स्पीड भी चाहिए, और स्केल अभी भी काफी नहीं है, मतलब स्केल भी करनी पड़ती इंडिया के लिए। तो मेरा फाइनल कंक्लूजन सर यही है कि ग्लोबली कम्पिटिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए अपने को इफिशिएंट लॉजिस्टिक्स चाहिए, फास्ट ऑटोमेटेड पोर्ट्स भी चाहिए, स्टेबल और लो कॉस्ट पावर भी चाहिए,
ठीक है,
प्रेडिक्टेबल लैंड।
टाइम अप है।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
ठीक है, मार्केटिंग टीम, यू कैन गो अहेड एंड rebut.
Okay. So first of all, logistics cost you mentioned, Abhay. Logistics cost, it's not a great problem, and in spite of the cost, whatever is there, India has still progressed, as already we have shown through data, right? And as you can see through the PLI, or I would say Performance Logistics Index, wherein the India has ranked 34. So it's a very good number, and the average is 3.4, right? So
नहीं, या
in spite of the fact that logistics cost and anything is there, of course, but at the same time, you can understand that it is still ranked just over 30 So out of 139 countries. So it is not a problem or a constraint at all. Coming to turnaround time, you said around 70 to 80. That is not accurate data. Turnaround time, as we have shown, has decreased to 48.06 hours. Right? Coming to power surplus, power outage, and all those things, in spite of all those challenges, still we have already shown how India is progressing as a manufacturing hub, not only in terms of logistics, but in terms of turnaround time, also in terms of whatever exports and supplies. So everything has been shared through data, in spite of the fact whatever challenges you are showcasing. And also in terms of land acquisition, yes, land acquisition might be a problem, but in spite of that, you have seen the PLI index, and also we have showcased how India has progressed in terms of higher port and first and on time rapid highway expansion. And also in terms of digital infrastructure, it is proven through data in terms of coverage, in terms of consumers. And also, it has been proven that it actually enables JIT ordering, or just in time ordering, real time inventory. You mentioned IoT, that is Internet of Things, that is also been possible right now through wide coverage. So, and logistics I have already mentioned, but you have shown that logistical fragmentation. There is no data. It was completely vague. Whatever we have shown, that LPI scores also in terms of international shipments and timeliness has been more than an average of 3.5 to 3.6. That already shows that progress is there in trade logistics, in spite of whatever you have mentioned that logistical fragmentation exists. Thank you.
Yeah, Deep, but India का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट 7.97% ऑफ जीडीपी है। मैं मान लेता हूँ, मतलब अभी कम हो गया, पहले 13-14% था, पर अभी भी मतलब चाइना का 14.1 है। पर चाइना का स्केल इतना बड़ा है कि पर चाइना के लिए ना पर यूनिट कॉस्ट बहुत कम है, वो मतलब इंडिया के लिए ज्यादा है। सपोज अपन 100 रुपए में 1000 ट्रॉफी खरीदते, और एक बंदा 100 रुपए में 500 ट्रॉफी खरीदेगा, तो अभी कॉस्ट किसको कम लग रही है? जो 1000 खरीदेगा उसको ही कम लग रही है ना।
First of
तो
all, the
यही
question
चीज है।
doesn't compare.
एक मिनट
ये
एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट
Deep, you can speak.
Deep, let him finish. Yeah.
Okay.
या सर, या मतलब अभी मैं वही बोल रहा था कि इंडिया का जीडीपी कम है चाइना के कंपैरिजन में, बट चाइना की स्केल बड़ी है इंडिया की, मतलब इंडिया से, तो इसलिए मतलब उसको पर यूनिट कॉस्ट कम लगती है चाइना को इंडिया की वजह से। और अभी आप बोल रहे थे कि इंडिया का मतलब टर्न अराउंड टाइम है ना पोर्ट्स का, वो ज्यादा है 60 to 70 आवर। तो वर्ल्ड बैंक के ग्लोबल कंटेनर पोर्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स के हिसाब से इंडिया का मतलब 60 to 70 आवर्स है, और यही चाइना का 24 आवर्स से भी कम है। अभी पावर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करते हैं तो अभी इंडिया में पावर सरप्लस तो है, मतलब है मानता हूँ मैं, पर रिलायबल नहीं है वो। वोल्टेज फ्लक्चुएशन होती रहती है, कभी मतलब बैकअप जनरेटर्स की जरूरत भी पड़ती है, तो कभी बैकअप जनरेटर की जरूरत पड़ेगी तो वो 10 to 15% कॉस्ट बढ़ा देता है।
ठीक है, लेट मी टेक इट फ्रॉम हियर। सो
हाँ, बोलो।
सो दीप, यू सेड कि नेशनल हाईवे 60% बढ़ गए हैं, राइट? तो बट मोस्टली हाईवेज, अभी मैं एनएचआई की रिपोर्ट देखता हूँ तो उसमें तो सिर्फ 43% हाईवेज हैं, वही 4 लेन है, ठीक है, या उससे ऊपर है, बाकी सारे सिंगल लेन है, 2 लेन है। और सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? कंजेशन और एवरेज स्पीड की, राइट? नेशनल हाईवेज पर ट्रक्स की एवरेज स्पीड कितनी होती है? 30 to 40 किलोमीटर पर आवर, राइट? और वहीं चाइना में क्या होता है? 80 to 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर, ठीक है? तो फ्लो और स्पीड यहाँ पे दोनों अलग अलग है, तो ये पॉइंट तुम्हारा आई डोंट थिंक कि वैलिड होगा। सेकेंड चीज, जो सेट की डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर्स बने हैं हमारे पास, राइट? तो डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर्स का सिर्फ 58% हिस्सा है, वही अभी ऑपरेशनल है, अभी 2025 तक, राइट? बाकी का ऑपरेशनल ही नहीं है। वेस्टर्न डीएफसी पर तुम अगर जाओगे तो एवरेज 100 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड है वहाँ पे, बट लेकिन ईस्टर्न डीएफसी, ईस्टर्न डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर्स पर 40 से 50 अराउंड है। तो बेसिकली हाफ बिल्ड कॉरिडोर से ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन नहीं चलती है, ठीक है? थर्ड थिंग, यू सेड कि कार्गो हैंडल बहुत बढ़ गया है और पोर्ट्स ने इसे रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक कर दिया है। तो कार्गो वॉल्यूम बढ़ना ट्रैफिक होता है, एफिशिएंसी नहीं होती है। वॉल्यूम, बैंक कॉरिडोर, पोर्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स के अकॉर्डिंग इंडिया में का बेस्ट पोर्ट मुंद्रा है। उसकी ग्लोबल रैंक है आई थिंक 44, ठीक है। तो वॉल्यूम बढ़ने से टर्न अराउंड टाइम घटता नहीं है। जेएनपीटी पर अभी भी एवरेज वेसल स्टेज 40 to 48 आवर्स है, वहीं सिंगापुर में 10 to 12 आवर है। वॉल्यूम हेडलाइन देता है लेकिन एफिशिएंसी कम्पिटिटिवनेस देती है। थर्ड थिंग यू सेड कि
टाइम अप हो गया, टाइम अप हो गया।
हो गया क्या? अच्छा ओके
अच्छा,
सर।
तो मैं क्विकली एक फीडबैक देता हूँ। यू नो, दोनों साइड्स के पास नंबर्स हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे की तरफ नंबर्स फेंक रही हैं, लेकिन स्टोरी क्लियर नहीं हो रही है। ये क्या हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में हम कहाँ पीछे हैं और कहाँ कहाँ वो गैप है, वो स्टोरी लाइन नहीं बन रही है मेरे दिमाग में। एटलीस्ट किसी और के दिमाग में बन रही है क्या? प्लीज शेयर योर थॉट्स।
नहीं सर, एक्चुअली स्टोरी तो बन नहीं रही है, पर कोरिलेशन बेसिकली मैन, मशीन और मटेरियल से रिलेटेड होना चाहिए। उस पे ही
राइट
तो आपका पूरा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर डिपेंड है,
राइट
मैन, मशीन एंड मटेरियल। तो
राइट।
स्टोरी
तो वो स्टोरी थोड़ा मेरे को क्लियर नहीं हो रही है। मेरे को बहुत सारे नंबर्स सुनाई दे रहे हैं, रोड्स की लेंथ कितनी हो गई है, पोर्ट्स पे क्या हो रहा है, मेरे को सुनाई दे रहा है, राइट। लेकिन हाउ डज ऑल दैट रिलेट टुवर्ड्स इंडिया बिकमिंग अ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब, राइट।
राइट।
वो स्टोरी, वो पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी मेरे को क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है। जस्ट बाकी 3 क्वेश्चन में जरा ध्यान रखिए इस बात का,
ठीक है
जो
सर।
भी आपको बोलना है उसको मेन टॉपिक से कनेक्ट कीजिए।
हम्म।
Guys, anybody else in the audience? Hello?
हाँ सर।
हाँ मैम बोलिए। हेलो audience, anybody wants to participate, please go ahead.
So Deep, one question. You said that the highways, okay, is increased by 60% from 2014, correct?
Right.
From 91,000 kilometers to 1 lakh kilometer, 1,48,000, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So, but what's the efficiency of that? Because the reason is that even if they've increased the highways, okay, on every, if you're connecting to different states, okay, you require permit for every state, okay, to move from one state to another. Okay, so that is actually a bottleneck for any transporter if he wants to transfer one state to other state, any product. So what is your say on that part?
So first of all, of course, the expansion actually has improved inland connectivity. That was not, so much efficient 10 years back. So it has improved. Rapid highway expansion, in a way, has improved inland connectivity, which is crucial for manufacturing hubs. And also,
Okay,
it has cut down transit time because there
Deep,
is.
let me rephrase the question that is being asked, right? You are talking about improvement, the other side is talking about bottlenecks, right? But we have no clear idea, like you are saying 1.14 lakh or certain amount of miles is now available. What is the requirement? Kitna miles chahiye for us to be able to perform as a manufacturing leader? What is that number? Because until we hit that number, we are not going to lead, right? The fact that we are improving is almost like एक बच्चा क्लास में 33% लाता था, अब 27% 37% लाने लगा है, right? Of course, that is improvement. We are improving as a country. We are improving, but are we going to be able to compete at the global level? That is the real question, right?
Right now, it's pegged at 38. I mean, it has.
No, 38 is not a very good ranking. We are the 4th largest economy, right? If we are the 4th largest economy, we should be fourth in every list. Why are we 38th in a list and feeling good about it?
No, at least the India has improved. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
नहीं, improve का कोई challenge नहीं कर रहा. That's what I'm saying. अगर एक बच्चा 33% ला रहा है, if he's getting 33% and he suddenly starts passing with getting 40%, he's still not competing with the leaders in the class, right? What does it take for? What will it take for us to get there? That is the question, right? So.
No, but the question is that whether it can support a globally competitive manufacturing ecosystem.
So yeah, answer that. So we have to answer that question. It's not even a question posed to you. As a community, we have to be able to answer that question. What will it take for us to get there?
You were saying what will it take India to become a leader in as a manufacturing hub?
As a compete, as even if it's not a leader, what will it take us for us to start competing at that level, right? So those numbers would be helpful.
So
if you said, okay, we need 5 lakh miles of road, or you had some numbers like that, then we could say, okay, we are at 1.14, we need to get to 5 lakh. Then we have some understanding of what is needed. Abhi, we are just patting ourselves on the back and saying, ki, we are becoming better, we are becoming better, we are becoming better, right? But others are moving, ahead in miles while we are moving ahead in meters, right?
So basically, it depends on rate of improvement, right? Rate of progress.
Firstly, the target क्या है? मेरे को target ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा. What is the target we need to hit?
So that's a very relevant question, but that's for that we need a different research altogether.
Okay.
Because the numbers will be completely different.
That's why the debate is focused on how we become competitive, not how we improve.
Yeah, competitive as a manufacturing hub.
Right.
Right.
For example, can we even just substitute our imports? What will it take for us to just get rid of having to import so much? Right?
Right. So that is actually part of it has been answered in question 2.
Achha.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, it's great if the debate is heading in that direction. That's great. So.
Right.
Or kuch point?
Also, Deep, you mentioned UPI quite a bit, right, for digital systems. Now, the problem here is that relevant to the manufacturing part? Like, as we are going to the question, I don't think UPI is anyway in that way. We are not a self-reliant ecosystem in today's country, global numbers, right? We don't have like even today for messaging, we rely on WhatsApp. That's an American application, right? Even for just take this example, Zoom. It's also an American application. We are not self-reliant on anybody. Like whereas
So
China.
even if see, first of all, why you are comparing with China? Because here it is there should not be any comparison with any country. So the question is whether it can become a competitive global manufacturing hub. It is not in comparison with any specific country, right? Number one.
ये
Number
क्या
two
बोल
is
रहा है यार? If you are
It's not about
global, you
comparison,
are
Roy.
competing.
Yeah,
How
we are comparing to China because they are at the top, right? You rank yourself within them, right? We are talking globally. They are at the top, so why shouldn't we compare to them?
So
compare तो होगा ही. I don't know how you can explain not comparing. Of course, it's a comparison. It is a competition. It is a competition at the end of the day. If you're going to export, you are going to have to compete.
Yes, that. But the question is whether it can become a competitive global manufacturing hub. With respect to China, of course, number 2 question is there. Now coming to UPI, which you asked actually, which I mentioned that India handled around 49% transactions, and it is also live over 7+ countries. Even if you said that we are not self-reliant, even if we are not self-reliant, still it actually points out to the fact that we have the capacity to manage those volume of transactions, right? So even if we are not self-reliant, so that's why I included the UPI aspect.
Because we are discussing like current infrastructure with like physical as well as digital. So that comes under the umbrella of digital.
So you are comparing digital payments equals to digital manufacturing, right?
Not digital manufacturing, digital infrastructure.
Digital infrastructure.
Yes.
But I think digital infrastructure means sensors, data, robotics control.
So digital infrastructure actually includes a lot of things, lot of components, right? So that
UPI
also
UPI is just a tiny part of that infrastructure, right?
yes,
Not a big
UPI
part.
UPI is a big part. Reason being that without any, of course, as we understand, without any currency or without any currency exchange, manufacturing actually won't happen. So
चलो
that's why
guys, gear
we
switch करते
included
हैं,
it.
second question पे जाते हैं, ठीक है?
ठीक।
Go ahead, Deep. Second question. Is Shauna
Okay.
going to talk or are you going to talk?
I will do that.
अच्छा, okay.
Okay, second question. Can India realistically challenge China or Vietnam as a global manufacturing hub, or is it better positioned as a service-led economy? So this is the current scenario wherein, as per manufacturing value-added percentage of GDP, India is pegged at 12.5% versus China 26%, Vietnam 24.4%. Manufacturers exports percentage of merchandise exports, India is at 67.1%, China 91.2%, Vietnam 85%. And FDI inflows, India has 27.6 billion USD, China 163.2 billion USD, and Vietnam 18 to 19 billion USD approx. Now, apparently, from the summary, it actually says that okay, China still has a substantially larger share of GDP. Even in terms of export structure, China and Vietnam actually share a higher share of manufacturers, and also in terms of FDI inflows, larger capital inflows. Okay, with respect in case of China and Vietnam compared to India. But here is the story wherein, for instance, if we look at manufacturing GVA or gross value added, that is one of the major metrics for manufacturing contribution to the economy. It has again improved from 21.9 to 24.6 lakh crore. That's an 11.9% growth in FY 23 to 24. Despite a lower GDP share, absolute manufacturing output is rising fast, indicating expanding capacity, not stagnation. And rapid GVA growth helps India gradually. Actually, it narrows down the gap between with peers like China, Vietnam. Now, what is the strategy? As Sir was saying, that is there any strategy how we can actually be a leader or something? Is there any roadmap, or are we doing that? So it is actually focused on building export focused capacity, focusing on some key sectors like electronics, pharma, auto components, textiles. And India is actually focusing on these sectors because it's building export focused capacity. Let's understand some figures. For instance, this was the total domestic production, okay, in and it's just a 3 years number, wherein electronics 5 lakh 50, I mean it's in crores, wherein 55 lakh 4,000 crore, and then 95 lakh 2,000 crores. It has increased with a CAGR of 17.47%, and total growth over 3 years is 71.85%. And pharma has also increased, I mean, from 3 lakh 32 lakh 32 lakh and then 41 lakh 73,045, with a CAGR of 15.43%. Total growth 30.42%. With respect to auto components and textiles, also it has registered a CAGR of 21.77%, with a total growth registering 61 lakh 4,000 crores, and with again amounting to 80.14%. So as we can see, that actually this policy has helped a lot in terms of total domestic production. And coming to exports also, in the same sectors, electronics, pharma, auto components, as we can see, the total actually CAGR with electronics leading 47.5, and then auto components 21%, 4% pharma and textiles apparel. Hello, hi Prashant.
Hello.
Prashant, can you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is quite a handsome, I would say, growth in terms of total 3 years growth. And now coming to FDI inflows, it has increased from 50 billion USD to 81.04 billion USD in FY 24 to 25. So rising FDI actually, of course, it's very major in terms of bringing capital, technology, and jobs, which is essential for competing with major manufacturing hubs. And the LPI rank has also
Okay, time up.
improved.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, product development team.
Yes, sir. One second. Okay. So the question is, can India realistically challenge China or Vietnam as a global manufacturing hub, or it is a service-led economy? So the big picture is why these questions matter. So let me begin with a very simple thought. If India were truly on the path to becoming the next China or Vietnam in manufacturing, the numbers would already be showing it. Manufacturing giants don't emerge suddenly. They show long, consistent movement in three areas: manufacturing share of GDP, share of export, and share of employment. But when we study India's trajectory and when we look at the plots in front of us, the direction is clear. India is not converging with China and Vietnam. In fact, the gap has widened over the last 25 years. Look at this data. Manufacturing as a percentage of GDP, China stands at around 25%, Vietnam 24%, India is at 12.5%. And what's worse is not the number, but the trend. China and Vietnam show long-term stability in their manufacturing share, while India's curve barely moves, stuck between 12 to 14% for 2 decades. This doesn't look like a country preparing to challenge global manufacturing leaders. It looks like a country whose economic DNA lies somewhere else. Right. Uh, let's shift to the manufacturing export power. This is where true factories of the world show their strength. China command more than 14% of global manufacturing export. Vietnam has crossed 1.5%, and India remains around 1.8%, flat for years. The number is not rising, and that flat trend tells a bigger story than any slogan ever could. If we were becoming the next big manufacturing hub, this number would be moving sharply upward, but it is not. India's export is not driven by factories, it is driven by services. Okay. Then now look at the economic complexity plot, which simply answers one question: can your country build advanced products? China has an ECI of 1.15. हेलो मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, आ रही है.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so China has an ECI of 1.15. India sits at 0.4. That's not a small gap. That's a different universe. Because China manufactures semiconductors, sensors, aerospace parts, motors, robotic components, chemicals, the backbone of modern manufacturing. India imports them, and that brings us to the most unforgiving data point of all: the domestic value added plot. China adds 68% value inside its own country. Vietnam adds 55%, but India adds only 37%. And by some reports, India can add 40% in next 20 years. This is proof that India is not a manufacturing base; it is an assembly base. We import components, put them together, and export the final product with very little domestic contribution. Okay. So to reach China's depth, India would need 150 to 200 billion in investment, 15 to 20 years of continuous ecosystem building, more than 1,000 suppliers inside each industrial cluster, and a strong R&D culture, none of which can be created overnight. Manufacturing is not a policy. It is an ecosystem. An ecosystem cannot be forced into existence by slogans. Now, about ports, we talked about it, so we can skip this. Okay, look at the workforce. China has nearly 30% of its workforce in manufacturing. Vietnam has 27% and India has 12%. And out of that, only 2.5% of our workforce is formally skilled. You cannot run precision manufacturing with untrained labor. You cannot produce high-tech goods with informal skill set. India would need to move 70 to 80 million people into factories to match Vietnam. That transition has simply not happened in 25 years, and nothing indicates it will suddenly happen in the next 50 years. The final thing I can say about FDI inflows. This tells you everything. Global investors put 40% of the China's FDI into factories, and 32% of Vietnam's, and only 70% of India. Investors are extremely rational. They don't follow sentiment. They follow cost, reliability, speed, and complexity. And they are clearly telling us India is not a manufacturing hub. India is a service and consumption market. So, can India challenge China or Vietnam?
Okay, time up. Time up. Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get into rebuttal, I just want to share some thoughts. You know, the message is very clear from both sides. We understand that India is improving. We also understand that India is not where it should be, right? Both those messages are clear. The debate is not about these two messages. The debate is about whether we have the willpower, the resilience, the resources to make it happen. How do we go from here to there? That is the question. The question is not where we are or how we got where we are. The question is how do we go from here to where we should be? Just sharing my thought. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead with the rebuttal.
Okay. So, Sumit, first point, you showed the data of last 25 years, wherein we have already showcased the recent years data. Last 25 years don't validate, can't become a competitive manufacturing hub, and it can't compete with the leaders or maybe those who have outpaced them. As already showcased through the manufacturing, whether it's domestic consumption or whether through export data, that it has India has been improving at a faster rate, and the government has got a policy wherein it is like a production linked incentives, wherein they are focusing on some critical sectors, like for instance what we have shown, like electronics, pharma, auto components, textiles. And India is rapidly improving, as also shared through the data, with let's say total growth rate over last 3 years have been observed and at an average of around 75%. I mean, electronics 71, pharma 31.42%, 80.14, and 134%. That is the domestic production we are talking about, like, and that is just recent over 3 years data I'm talking about. Same goes to the export scenario, wherein electronics has registered a total 3 years production growth of 220.5%. And also in terms of auto components, 77.5%. So number of sectors actually India is focusing on with production linked incentives, so that India can also lead and also challenge the competitors like China and Vietnam. Coming to manufacturing export power, I think I have already covered, wherein I was speaking about manufacturing sector exports. The figures I have already shown. Coming to the little domestic contribution, that also I would like to counter, wherein little, as we can already see, that it's not a little domestic contribution any sector that has grown over 71% for last 3 years or 134%. Okay. So that is not a little domestic contribution. And it also implies one thing, that what you talked about workforce. I mean, without workforce, it wouldn't have been achievable, right? Of course, workforce has been deployed in such a way so that it has been made possible. These figures are in existence, and that is not only due to
Time
the
up.
machineries. Yeah.
Time up. Okay.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So first thing, you said about electronics export, pharma export and auto components, right? तो बेसिकली देखो दीप, क्या है ना कि जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की हम बात करते हैं, तो हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पे जो जो एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं ना, उसमें 15% ही डोमेस्टिक थिंग्स हैं। बिकॉज हम 80 to 85% कंपोनेंट्स पहले इंपोर्ट करते हैं, फिर इनको इंडिया में असेंबल करते हैं, और फिर हम एक प्रॉपर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आइटम बना के उसको एक्सपोर्ट कर देते हैं। तो दिस इज़ नॉट अ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग थिंग, दिस इज जस्ट असेंबली थिंग। ठीक है, तो इसमें नंबर्स बहुत ज़्यादा दिखाने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पावर बढ़ रहा है। ठीक है, तो ये एकदम बेसलेस थिंग है। ठीक है, सेम एज फार्मा में भी है। फार्मा में भी अराउंड 70% जो एपीआई होते हैं, एपीआई मीन्स कुछ केमिकल्स वगैरह और जो रॉ मटेरियल होता है वो सब, वो हम अभी भी हम बाहर से इंपोर्ट करते हैं, मोस्टली चाइना से करते हैं। इट्स इन द बेन रिपोर्ट ऑल्सो। ठीक है, तो जब हम 70% बाहर से इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद फुल पैकेज बाहर से एक बैग बना के उसमें पैकेज करके एक्सपोर्ट कर दे रहे हैं, तो दैट डजंट मीन कि हम मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं ना, हम तो सिर्फ असेंबली कर रहे हैं। तो तुम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और असेंबली में कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो। ठीक है,
नहीं, लेकिन मार्जिन कैसी हैं? तुमने कुछ देखा है क्या कि इवन असेंबली भी कर रहे हैं? दैट इज नॉट अ बैड थिंग as long as the margins are there. If there are no margins, then it makes sense that it's not worth doing it. Do you have any idea about the margins?
Yeah, about the margins. Okay, 1 second about the
नहीं है
margins.
तो don't get distracted by me. I just
No,
want
no,
to
no.
be
Hey,
clear.
just I have some one example for
Okay.
semiconductor. ठीक है, semiconductors अभी हम पूरा इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं 100%, राइट? अगर हम उसको अपने डोमेस्टिकली इकोसिस्टम बनाएंगे उसका, तो 12 to 18 बिलियन डॉलर लगेगा पहले तो, ईयरली रनिंग कॉस्ट लगेगी, और 300 बिलियन डॉलर लगेंगे हमें उसको बनाने में। ठीक है, तो जो इंपोर्ट करने का कॉस्ट है हमारा, और जो डोमेस्टिकली बनाने का कॉस्ट है, उसमें काफ़ी डिफरेंस आ रहा है, यानी कि हमें इंपोर्ट करना चीपर पड़ रहा है इसमें। अच्छा।
नहीं, मैं पूछ रहा था,
हाँ।
तुमने इंपोर्ट किया, 2 रुपए का इंपोर्ट किया, तुमने
हम्म।
कुछ एफर्ट लगाया उसको, हम क्या 2.5 रुपए में बेच रहे हैं या 5 रुपए में बेच रहे हैं? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन।
ओके। नो नो, ये नहीं देखा मैंने।
अच्छा, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। Because it doesn't matter ना whether you are assembling or manufacturing if you are getting the margins for it. If you are not getting the margins, of course it matters.
बट सर, ग्लोबली देखा जाए तो ग्लोबल कम्पिटिटिवनेस जो कैलकुलेट की जाती है, वो इस पे कैलकुलेट की जाती है कि तुम किस टायर का एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो। 4 टाइप्स के टायर्स होते हैं, 3 टाइप्स के, टायर 1, टायर 2, टायर 3। इसमें टायर 1 पे आता है कि आप अपना आर एन डी रिसर्च या फुल फ्लेज जो तुमने खुद से पूरा प्रोडक्ट बनाया है उसको एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो। सेकंड पे आ
right.
जाता है अपने सर्विसेज या सॉफ्टवेयर ऐसा कुछ बनाया है तुमने, वो एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो। लाइक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स आइटम्स में इंजन्स हो जाते हैं, राइट, उनको एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो। और थर्ड एंड फोर्थ टायर में आता है कि तुम नॉर्मल लेबर वर्क, लाइक छोटे छोटे
ठीक है,
कंपोनेंट्स एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो।
ठीक है, अभी
तो
ऑडियंस को थोड़ा टाइम देते हैं, देखते हैं
हम्म,
क्या बोलते हैं। आई
ठीक
गॉट
है।
योर पॉइंट।
ओके।
So Deep, you can just show me your slide 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
So just share the people whatever slides were there. Okay. In that you mentioned these numbers. Yeah. What are these numbers like? Total growth is it 7,185 or 71.85?
71.85%.
Okay. So it's a point, not a comma. Okay.
So I would like to counter Sumit that he said that it's actually an assembly work, not a production. So these are the numbers for domestic production with respect to all these sectors. So this is not any figure related to assembly line.
Deep, there is a question from the same data you have mentioned that we do have a domestic production in the electronic sector worth of 5,54,000 crore, right? In FY 2021. And out of this 78,000 crore worth of we have exported. Agree? That's what you have showed.
this is total domestic production. Yeah.
हाँ, इसमें से 78,000 हमने एक्सपोर्ट किया. That's what you showed ना. हाँ. So do we have the same data for the China and Vietnam to compare?
नहीं, इसमें से हम जो 78,000 का एक्सपोर्ट किया है उसमें से 85% का जो अमाउंट होगा ना, इसका अगर 85% देखेंगे तो वो हमने इंपोर्ट किया है पहले.
No,
नहीं, मेरा पॉइंट ये नहीं है. मेरा पॉइंट ये है दीप से
I got it.
कि
I got your point. That do
हाँ,
we have the data, same data as in compared to China and Vietnam?
yes. That's what I just want to
Okay,
show
okay.
कि उनका रेशो कितना है.
Right.
जैसे
I got your
and
point. Right. So
अग-
right. हाँ, tell me.
अगर हम रेशियो की बात ना करें तो बेसिकली मैं इसमें एक पॉइंट बोलना चाहूँगा कि चाइना में मोस्टली कंपोनेंट जो रॉ कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं वो सब खुद ही बनाता है, टायर 1 से लेकर टायर 4 तक. ठीक है, तो उनका पूरा जो एक्सपोर्ट होता है, पूरा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होता है, वो उनके ही कंट्री में होता है. जबकि इंडिया में हम 80% पार्ट्स को इम्पोर्ट करते हैं, राइट. तो जो ग्लोबली, जब हम ग्लोबली इसको कंपेयर किया जाता है ना कंट्रीज़ के लिए, तो ये बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर होता है कि तुम किस टायर के प्रोडक्ट्स को एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो. तो इसमें नंबर्स तुम बोलो कि नहीं मैं 1 बिलियन या 1 ट्रिलियन का कुछ एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ, इट डजेंट मैटर कि अगर तुम उसको पूरा प्रॉपरली मैन्युफैक्चर नहीं कर रहे हो
एक
अपनी
मिनट
कंट्री में तो.
सुमित मेरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर तो दीप कर दे पहले. 1 मिनट.
Nishant, what we did actually, we tried to find out actually credible data with respect to exact comparison. So some of the data was available with respect to some sectors like electronics or auto components, while other data was not available or not validated from credible sources. So that's why we're not highlighting the data, what you asked for.
Okay.
So coming to Sumit again, and just I believe I will be repeating this, that it is even if you can say that of course there is a significant export section as well involved in electronics or maybe other sectors, but still it's a significant number and a growth, right?
आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अबाउट द नंबर्स, क्योंकि देर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ नंबर्स. अगर तुम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट का देखोगे अपनी जीडीपी का, तो अभी 7.97% आता है. अभी 1 महीने पहले एक रिपोर्ट निकाली है. तो उन्होंने, गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया है, गवर्नमेंट ने पूरा मेथडोलॉजी ही चेंज कर दिया है कैलकुलेट करने का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट को, जो कि 2 साल पहले 14% थी और सडनली 8% हो गया.
So we are not talking about cost, right?
No,
Right
I'm
now-
just saying about the numbers.
You talked about production, domestic production, so that's why I showed you these figures. And Adrian also asked me one question. Yeah.
Okay.
Sumit, actually you just showed the data about the FDI ki 40% China, 32% Vietnam, and India is approximately 12%, I guess, right?
17%.
17%, sorry. So like what is the duration for? So every year they invest that much percentage of their investment, or like what is
Yeah,
the
around
story?
every year.
Is there any reason that why do they so?
इन्वेस्टमेंट.
हाँ, मतलब क्यों है ये 40%, 30 और इंडिया में 17% क्यों है एफडीआई का रेशियो? दैट्स व्हाट आई जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड.
सी, इंडिया का जो 17% है, ये 15 to 17% पिछले 20 ईयर्स में बस 15 से 70% ही ये इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. ठीक है, और चाइना और वियतनाम में इनका इंक्रीज हुआ है. सो द रीज़न शुड बी बिकॉज ऑफ इकोसिस्टम एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ट्रस्ट एंड रिलायबिलिटी, राइट. क्योंकि एवरीवन नोज कि चाइना का इकोसिस्टम अच्छा है और टाइम पे हमें प्रोडक्ट्स मिल जाते हैं, टाइम पे हमारी डिलीवरीज होते हैं, इसलिए चाइना में सबसे ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट होती है. एंड वियतनाम भी उसी रास्ते पे है, और वो भी सेम प्रॉपर टाइम पर डिलीवरी करता है, ट्रस्ट एंड रिलायबल बन रहा है.
नहीं,
इसलिए
बट थोड़ा रूट कॉज एनालिसिस करो ना यार. ये तो अपने को समझ में आ गया, एक आगे एक पीछे है. इसके बारे में नंबर्स थ्रो करते करते अपन कहीं नहीं पहुंचने वाले, राइट. अपना मेन क्वेश्चन है कि रूट कॉज क्या है और उस रूट कॉज को हम फिक्स करने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं. सी, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया एज इफ इंडिया इज अ स्टूडेंट सिटिंग इन अ क्लास एंड how well it is performing and all that. At the end of the day, we are the India, right? Let us talk about us as Indians and what can we do to fulfill that gap, to fulfill that difference, to cover that gap. So that would be a useful conversation to have. Otherwise, we are just talking about two countries as two students in a classroom.
It's the problem is इंडियन इकोसिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम ये है कि इंडिया का 85% जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम है वो एमएसएमई पर चल रहा है। तो छोटे छोटे स्मार्ट बिजनेसेस हैं, छोटे छोटे फैक्ट्रीज हैं, ठीक है। तो एक जो बड़ा इकोसिस्टम है, जो एफडीआईज है, उनका ट्रस्ट बिल्ड नहीं होता है तो इस छोटे छोटे इकोसिस्टम्स पे, ठीक है। लार्ज इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क्स
तो उसको बिल्ड करने के लिए करना क्या है, ये बताओ।
राइट, उसको बिल्ड करने के लिए लार्ज इंडस्ट्रियल
Government
पार्क्स,
policies.
हेलो, हाँ,
Actually, it
लार्ज
is one thing
इंडस्ट्रियल
is
पार्क्स,
government policies. बोलो बोलो.
इट्स अबाउट द गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज ऑल्सो।
एक मिनट रुक जाए, एडियन क्या बोल रहा है, एडियन बोलो।
So actually, what's the problem? Actually, when I read it, okay, the main thing is about the government policies over here. Okay, so if tomorrow we improve, see, if I see in China and Vietnam, okay, the policies are so efficient, okay, that they said within 24 hours, okay, there's a turnaround time in every port. Okay, so if there's any product which is sent to China, Vietnam, okay, so that thing gets,
Again, we are complaining.
Hmm.
We have to talk about how do we fix it?
correct.
What needs to be fixed? Why is the Indian politics intentionally trying to harm the country, right? There must be some reason why things are not moving in the right direction. That is what the focus of the debate needs to be. We all know that we are behind.
देन यू आर सेइंग अबाउट थिंकिंग ऑफ पॉलिटिशियन। अब उसका थिंकिंग ऐसा है कि उसको पैसा कमाना है, कंट्री से उसको कोई मतलब नहीं है, तो उसको कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं? उसके लिए तो
कैसे
हमें
चेंज कर सकते हैं,
उसको
मतलब दैट इज व्हाट यू
उसको
हैव टू फाइंड आउट ना,
हाँ
नहीं तो डिबेट
उसको,
करने का मतलब नहीं।
अरे
करो कैसे चेंज
सुनिए
करना।
सुनिए तो
हाँ बोलो।
उसको चेंज करने के लिए हमें मतलब पब्लिक को ही क्रिटिकली थिंकिंग के साथ अपने लीडर्स को चूज करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। और बेसिकली अभी का प्रॉब्लम है कि जो भी 90% पब्लिक है वो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के साथ तो वोट नहीं देती है, मुझे ऐसा कोई डेटा नहीं मेरे पास उस पर, बट ये मेरी थिंकिंग है। क्योंकि मोस्टली वोट्स होते हैं कास्टिज्म पे, इन सब चीज़ों पे
ओके
वोट्स
लेट
होते
मी
हैं, राइट।
रिफ्रेम। एक अलग एंगल से सोचते हैं। व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ अस फेलिंग इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑन द कॉमन मैन? व्हाई डज ही नीड टू थिंक अबाउट इट? क्या इम्पैक्ट आता है कॉमन मैन पे? व्हाट वुड गेट हिम टू थिंक अबाउट दीस थिंग्स?
Inflation.
प्रोडक्ट हाई प्राइस पे मिलते हैं।
So basically,
बट उसको
see,
पेन फील नहीं होता। क्यों फील नहीं होता उसको पेन?
पेन फील नहीं होता उसको, आई थिंक सर इट्स अबाउट नॉलेज। उसको मालूम ही नहीं है ना कि ये सब चीज़ें हो सकती हैं, इतनी अवेयरनेस नहीं है।
अच्छा।
The another point is I would like to make sir कि अगर हम लोग बात करें कि इंपोर्ट जितना होता है और जो इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चर होता है, तो हम लोग मैक्सिमम ऑफ टाइम ये देखते हैं कि चाइना का जो प्रोडक्ट है वो स्टिल इंपोर्ट करने के बाद भी सस्ता है जो इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं उसके कंपेरिजन। सो दैट्स व्हाट इज द मेक द डिफरेंस बिटवीन
सी
दिस
एक और पॉलिसी
वो
है जैसे,
क्यों मैन्युफैक्चर
हाँ
की मैन्युफैक्चर यस, क्योंकि वो अगर इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं तो फिर उसको कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगा बेसिकली।
ये
वो
कॉस्ट क्यों
उतना माल
बढ़ता है? हाँ मैं बताता हूँ ये कॉस्ट क्यों बढ़ता है। एक पॉलिसी है जैसे कि इंडिया में रोबोट्स और ऑटोमेशन यूज़ करने के लिए काफ़ी पॉलिसीज मना करती हैं, राइट, कि हमारे यहाँ
चलो
के
तीसरे
जो
क्वेश्चन पे जाते हैं। एटलीस्ट
ठीक,
डायरेक्शन तो मिल रहा है अपने को, किस डायरेक्शन में सोचना है। चलो तीसरे क्वेश्चन पे स्टार्ट करते हैं, ठीक है?
ओके ठीक है। लेट मी शेयर माय स्क्रीन। Is it visible? Yeah. Yeah. So the third question is, have government initiatives such as Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat delivered tangible results, or they are just aspirational slogans? So our slide shows that Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat are not just merry slogans, but powerful engines of economic transformation, where we have shown four indicators, wherein first is FDI inflows in year 24-25, which is $81.04 billion. Foreign direct investment is the ultimate vote of confidence from global businesses. They are voting with their capital. They see the policy stability and growth potential in India, and that's the reason they invest. So you don't invest such a huge amount of 81 billion on a merry slogan. You invest in the market opportunity and policy clarity. Second is PLI dispersals.
which is production linked incentive scheme. We have disbursed over 21.5 thousand crore in cumulative incentives. This scheme is directly tied to like new production, new investment, and new jobs, new employment. It proves that manufacturing is reaching a competitive scale. Third is GVA, which is gross value added, has hit 24.6 lakh crore. This is the fundamental measure of sector's contribution to the nation's wealth, where this figures that we are not just like assembling, but performing high value manufacturing and substantially increasing our output, like economic output. Fourth is manufacturers export. So manufactured goods now account for 67.1% of our merchandise export, which indicates the global competitiveness of India. So we looked at four different indicators. Now we need to look each of them in little detail, where we saw the numbers briefly, which was 81.04 billion in FDI in year 24-25. So this single bar is not static. It basically represents like thousands of jobs. So ask yourself why would a company commit like multi-million dollar investment in a foreign country? There must be some reason behind it, right? Like basically it's not like a newspaper ad. It's certainly, and then of course it's not a slogan. There's a thought behind it. The fact that FDI is rising demonstrates the market risk has gone down and saw a rise in growth potential. And of course, thanks to both the slogans, which is Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Next is production linked incentives, PLI, where we just saw FDI shows that global confidence in India, but PLI disbursement proves our domestic performance. As of March 2025, the number is again 21,500 crore has 1,000 crore has been disbursed, which is not as a subsidy but as a reward earned after companies produced more and invested more money in them. The payouts tell us one thing, that factories are running and exports are rising from India. Next is GVA, which is gross value added in year 23-24, which reached again 24.6 lakh crore, which shows a rise of like a growth rate of 12%. This isn't like slow progress. Like GVA measures value added, not just output. This growth shows our factories are becoming more efficient and more productive. The next is manufacturing exports. So today, manufacturing goods make up to 67% of India's total merchandise export. So this isn't a number; it signals a structural like shift towards an export-oriented, like manufacturing-driven economy. If over two-thirds of what the world buys from India is manufactured, it means our factories are producing goods which do have a value in global market. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, product development team.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your clock has started.
Okay. Okay. So the question is, have Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat delivered results? So let's start with the promise. When Make in India was launched in 2014, it came with enormous promise. It told us that India would finally manufacture what it consumes, that that import would fall, that we would reduce dependence on foreign countries, and that million of jobs would be created. And when Atmanirbhar Bharat arrived in 2020, the ambitions was raised even further. Now, India would become self-reliant in electronics, defense, semiconductor, solar energy, and pharmaceuticals. The intent behind these policies was inspiring, but in public policies, intentions do not matter. Outcomes do. And the simplest way to measure the outcome is by asking a brutal question: did India actually reduce its foreign dependence or not? Because true self-reliance is not about opening factories, it is about replacing imports with domestic capabilities. When we look at the numbers, the story becomes painfully clear. Take electronics, which was supposed to be transformed under Make in India in 2014. India imports about 37 billion worth of electronics. Today, after a decade of reforms, the figure is nearly $78 billion. That is not decline. That is a doubling. Solar equipment was another priority area, yet China still accounts for 85% of India's solar imports. In pharmaceuticals, India is often called the pharmacy of the world, but we still depend on China for 70% of the APIs that make those medicines. And in semiconductors, the reality is even harsher. India imports 100% of its chips. If Make in India or Atmanirbhar Bharat were working in a structural way, these imports, these import numbers should be falling. Instead, they have risen across every major category. What we build is not self-reliance. What we build is an assembly economy. The best example of this illusion is a smartphone. We often hear that India has become the second largest smartphone manufacturer in the world. That sounds like a major victory. Until you look at value addition. According to the India Form to 2025 analysis, China adds about 25 to 30% value to a phone manufactured there. Vietnam adds 15 to 20 and India adds 12 to 15%. This means a 20,000 Indian smartphones contain roughly 16,000 of the imported parts. So yes, the phone is assembled in India, but the electronics, the chipset, the sensors, the display, and the battery component at the precision parts still come from abroad. We increased output, but we did not increase domestic capability. That is the difference between manufacturing and assembly. Even government flagships programs like PLI, which offer incentives, one second, which offer incentives to increase production, have not changed this. A research paper published in 2025 by Soris Datta said clearly PLI increased production, but it did not increase domestic value addition. Government data backs this up. Out of the 1.97 lakh crore allocated for PLI investment incentives, only about 21,500 crores has actually been paid out. Companies are meeting output targets but not components target, which means PLI has made India a bigger assembly hub, not a deeper manufacturing ecosystem. We see a similar pattern in defense. People celebrate the fact that India exports 23,000 crores worth of defense items in 2024-2025. But when you examine what we actually export, 90% of it just components. Wiring harness, casing, PCB assemblies. These are tier 3 items, not fighter jets or missile systems. We are not exporting self-reliance, we are exporting spare parts. Now let's talk about the single most important long-term indicator of manufacturing strength, the share of manufacturing in GDP. According to the World Bank, India's manufacturing share was around 16% in the mid-1990s. After 30 years of reforms, schemes, slogans, subsidies, and FDI campaigns, that number is approximately 12.5% today. In the same period, Vietnam rose from around 14% to 25%, and China rose from 20 to 34, 20 to 24 at its peak. If Make in India truly transformed the industrial landscape, this number would be rising sharply. It has barely moved for 3 decades. That tells us the structural engine hasn't changed. And the reason these policies could not deliver is simple.
Okay, time up. Time up.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, Sumit, so you talked about a number of things. So first of all, coming to this policy, wherein you said that there is a lot of dependence on electronic goods. So as we have already shown before, that there is actually a huge number in terms of electronics domestic production. Okay, and if even if there is a number that is 78,606 crore, and if we just deduct that also, it will come to 4,75,394. That is, I'm talking about only domestic production in the electronic sector. Okay, And then coming to the pharma sector as well, there's again we have shown that already there is a growth, and 4,17,345 crores. And if we again deduct that 1.28 lakh, and that is very insignificant amount of export that has been carried out in the pharma sector as well. But you stressed upon the fact that the major has been exported rather than has been imported rather than being produced in the country. So that I completely disagree. And coming to the China Vietnam comparison, again, nowhere Make in India says that, of course, it will become a global manufacturing hub, but it doesn't say that we'll actually match the numbers that China and Vietnam have. Okay. So when you compare it with China and Vietnam numbers, so that is something which is not applicable, because it is not stated in the policy that it will do the same. Okay. So along these lines, I completely disagree.
Okay.
Time up.
So I don't know.
Are you done with your rebuttal?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Hmm.
Go
So
ahead.
you are saying PLI investment, right? PLI. So 21,500 crores right now, but PLI incentives 1.97 लाख करोड़ का टारगेट था, बट हुआ सिर्फ 21,000 ही, राइट? जो कि टारगेट इंडिया का ही टारगेट था, ये मेक इन इंडिया का टारगेट था, किसी और कंट्री का नहीं, तो ये भी रीच नहीं कर पाए हम, राइट? सेकेंड चीज यू सेड कि FDI मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सर्ज टू $81 billion. द नंबर इज एक्चुअली हाई, बट total manufacturing FDI inflows hits $165 billion from 2014 to 2024, or 69% jumps from the previous decade. But here's the rub. So this is 5% of India's total 709, I think, billion FDI since 2014, with service gobbling 50%. Investors are betting on our 1.4 billion consumers as a market, not factories. Only 70% of FDI target manufacturing versus 40% in China and 32% in Vietnam. Compared to China's 2 trillion manufacturing FDI same period. This is a consumption case, not ecosystem building. When subsidy ends, it shifts to Mexico or Indonesia again, right? And second cheese, what you said about GVA? Okay, so manufacturing GVA hits you said 24.6 lakh crore. So it is for 2025, right? Right, 300 था. GVA 300 lakh crore था. Okay, fine. So at 9 हाँ, so manufacturing is 8 to 10% around this था क्या था? Inflation. Okay, so FDI $165 billion and PLI 21,500 crores and GVA 24.6 lakh crores. Okay, they sound like policy magic, but zoom out. Manufacturing GDP shares flat at 14%. Versus if you compare with Vietnam is 24%, right? Global exports share 1.8%. Value at 37% compared to China. China has 68%. So these are subsidy fuel spikes in assembly and consumption bets, not self-reliant ecosystem. Policies delivered headlines and 1.6 lakh crore, 61 lakh crores investment, but imports doubles and jobs lags. Aspirational slogans, not structural wins. India's real power is services, not forcing factories. So yeah. Okay, I'm done, sir.
So Shaunak, it's done, right? So Shaunak, you said $81 billion was invested in India through FDI, correct? Okay.
Right.
But did you consider that, since the topic is only in manufacturing? Okay, so did you consider manufacturing, how much was invested through FDI in manufacturing sector?
See, manufacturing, like what my point was that people are like globally, people are having trust, you can say, in Indian market, and that's the reason they are investing such a huge amount in the Indian market. So for that's what FDI is, right? So that's
So
what I
is it
meant by that number.
okay? So is other
Because
countries
why
having
would
lower FDI investment compared to India?
sorry?
Means you said 81 billion is a high amount. Okay, agree. But is other country having lower investment at $81 billion compared to India? Means you said like 81 is a good amount. I'm not saying that. Okay. But which sectors are the FDI more interested in? Okay, if you see, they're mostly interested in the financial services sector. Okay, as you say, so that's like UPI, okay, financial services, all these sectors. In manufacturing, it's not that much amount what they invested in. From the 81 billion, it's only 19 billion which is invested in manufacturing sector. Okay, so the trust is not that much compared to what you are saying. Second thing is, if you're saying India, how much is invested in China? Do you have any idea? FDIs, how much have
So
invested in China overall?
the thing is here, like at least for this question, we are saying about why, like how does these slogans make sense to you, which is the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in which I got your point that you are saying about the split of 81.04%, right? Like
That is
what's the
overall.
split of? Sorry?
See, 81.04 is the overall value which was invested.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
your point. But here we are talking like how does the slogan are working in favor of India and like if like why they are not working in favor of India. So we are counting that at least for this question.
No. See, slogan is fine. The slogan is in manufacturing, correct? That Make in India and PLI, correct? These two schemes. Okay, so it was fully focused on manufacturing. If you
Exactly, I
say
think
that,
because
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Make in India is basically for manufacturing, and Digital India and Skill India is for a digital world. So the slogan is Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in 2014, the government लाइक कि 2014 में लाइक हम यही प्रोडक्शन करेंगे, यही मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करेंगे, तो फॉर जॉब क्रिएशन. बट आफ्टर 2019 में उन्हें बोल दिया है कि अब जॉब क्रिएट नहीं हो पा रहे, तो सो इट इज आत्मनिर्भर भारत. खुद ही एंटरप्रेन्योर करो और खुद ही लाइक ये
It's
करो
a business call,
जॉब.
correct?
या
Okay.
या
So basically,
एग्जैक्टली.
my main thing is
हाँ
that the
हाँ
topic was full on manufacturing. You cannot
या
consider
एग्जैक्टली
overall FDI investment
सही बोला है
because
कि मैं
FDI,
यही बोल रहा
see, FDI, okay, they can like one sector of India and they can invest a lot of amount in that particular sector. Okay, and other sector, okay, which we are actually focusing on, okay, the investment can be less, okay, because of trust or many other things.
So it's not only about FDI inflows, Adrian. It's also what we have shown. Manufacturing GVA. It is 24.6 lakh crores, right? Manufacturing exports 67.1% of merchandise export. So these values also have to be taken into consideration. It is not only about FDI inflows, and these values are completely restricted to manufacturing, what I am saying. So all this actually point to just one thing, if we understand the question well, that whether Make in India is just a slogan or whether it is practically applied. It is not about right now in comparison with any specific country. So this is what we have shown, that it is not a slogan, rather it has been practically applied. If there is some target that was set, as Sumit said, and it was not achieved, it doesn't mean that it remains a slogan. Rather, the government tried or made an effort to achieve that target. Maybe it didn't achieve, but that doesn't mean that it remains a slogan. And in with respect to all aspects, we have shown that it is not a slogan. Rather, these are tangible numerical results that are available.
So one more question to Roy or Shonak, whoever is comfortable to answer. That let's say for an example, these Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India wasn't introduced in back in 2020, 2014 till now. अभी तक होता ही नहीं. So do you really think that what is the growth is already having in India? ये नहीं होता बिल्कुल भी. Just because of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, India has grown such a way in a manufacture, especially I would say.
So there are a number of factors. It's very difficult to say that because of Atmanirbhar Bharat or because of any scheme, or let's say anything, it has grown. Only thing, of course, because of introducing something, some things have also evolved or have taken place, emerged, I would say. For example, the PLI. Okay, and for example, the strategy to focus on a particular, I mean, very specific sectors
तो
like
पीएलआई
automobile.
इम्प्रूव हुआ तो पीएलआई तो इम्प्रूव मतलब कितना इम्प्रूव हुआ है?
मतलब I would back Roy in this, Deep sir, कि definitely it has helped the growth. Catalyst की तरह तो prove हो ही रहा है कि because subsidiaries वो जो दे रहे हैं, yesterday only or something I was looking into chemical sectors के because they are providing a lot of subsidiaries, people are getting into manufacturing of the things जो India import करती है. So वो अगर नहीं होता तो
कुछ नंबर्स थे क्या आर्टिकल में?
नंबर्स थे पर मुझे याद नहीं है.
अच्छा ठीक. कहाँ पढ़ा था आर्टिकल?
I was listening to a podcast.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. ओके.
केमिकल सेक्टर में दीपक नाइट्रेट है और वो सब है. दे आर गेटिंग इनटू एनोड्स एंड वो सब में तो
कैथोड
यस
एनोड राइट.
या
आई मीन अपने पास
Around-
टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर है क्या? गवर्नमेंट ने कितना एक्सपेंडिचर किया इन दोनों स्कीम्स पे? हमको जैसे मालूम है कि 180 बिलियन डॉलर्स हमारा गवर्नमेंट कलेक्ट करता है टैक्स के फॉर्म में, राइट? फिर कुछ प्राइवेट सेक्टर से भी इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है. तो कुछ इंक्रीज हुआ है? कितना कैपिटल इंक्रीज हुआ है इन्वेस्टमेंट इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग? कुछ नंबर्स नहीं है उस पे?
टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर का तो है कि 1.5 to 2 लाख करोड़ अप्रोक्सीमेट था, और जिसमें से अराउंड
1.97 लाख करोड़ 14 सेक्टर. 1.97 लाख
करोड़.
वो हाँ
तो
वो
2
पीएलआई
लाख करोड़ कितना हो गया? 2 लाख करोड़ हो गया 2 ट्रिलियन रुपीस. 2 ट्रिलियन रुपीस हो गया
2 ट्रिलियन. हाँ
25 बिलियन डॉलर्स. क्या नहीं, 250 बिलियन डॉलर्स.
250
कितना?
नहीं नहीं 2 लाख
2
करोड़ से
ट्रिलियन
अराउंड
रुपीस. या बोलो बोलो.
2 लाख करोड़ से 24 बिलियन ना.
24 बिलियन. अच्छा.
हाँ.
तो इट्स अ वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट कंपेयर्ड टू
No, sir.
जितना
I
होना
guess
चाहिए. I mean,
in
it
my
is, see,
understanding,
basically, yeah, go ahead.
sir, what the amount Indrajit is saying, like it is quite very low. In Indian Express, there is a mention amount 20 lakh crore. Narendra Modi introduced
इंडियन
this thing.
एक्सप्रेस का ये है 1.97 लाख करोड़.
नहीं, are we talking about 1 year or are we talking about 10 years? What are we talking about?
Total, sir.
टोटल
I am
Total
sharing
तो
about
10 years में ना?
हाँ
20 lakh.
2014
Yearly
से
it
2024.
is coming to the same thing. It is coming to 24
Two
billion in a
lakh.
year.
Right. Agree.
Right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, the point is, in my mind, the manufacturing industry is in crisis mode. Right? It needs serious resuscitation to survive. Right?
जी सर.
तो उसके लिए we need some extreme measures. We can't be just doing 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. You know?
अभी तो
Right.
5.9%
At least
है
we have to at any given year we have to focus on one industry and say, let's capture that industry. Right? Rather than making a distributed effort to improve in 10 different areas, we have to at least establish ourselves as a leader in one industry and then say, okay, then people will say, okay, yeah, scope hai. Right? If you are making gradual improvement in every industry, nobody's going to care. Just a thought from my side. Right?
I understand.
See, one point you guys made was that the only way we can change things is by voting our leaders, right? But the point is, the audience in this debate is not that weak. It is not. Its voice is only just not reflected only in its vote. It has a thinking mind. It is. I believe that the audience here are intellectuals. They can figure out the path to changing the direction of the country. It is not just about voting. It is also about coming up with ideas and giving the country a direction. ठीक है.
Okay. If
चलो
you have an
अभी
if you
लास्ट
have an
क्वेश्चन पे आ
idea.
जाते हैं, नहीं तो इतना टाइम खत्म हो जाएगा.
ठीक है. Okay. Yes, Sonak?
Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah, it's visible. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, is it visible? Yeah.
Yes.
So the fourth question is India prepared for the fourth industrial revolution, automation, AI, and green manufacturing, or will it face job displacement and inequality? So India isn't fearing automation and AI. We are preparing to win for the same. The World Economic Forum shows a clear shift. That is, 35% of Indian companies expect AI and automation to fundamentally transform their operations. India is among the most optimistic nations for adopting AI, robotics, and advanced manufacturing. And the industry is already investing in semiconductors and computing, which are the core of digital manufacturing. And the optimism is matched by government strategy through the AI mission and Niti Aayog. India isn't just acknowledging AI; it's integrating it directly with industrial policy. The AI for Viksit Bharat reports estimates around 85 to $100 billion, which is added manufacturing value by 2035. And AI-enabled supply chain optimization can cut logistics cost by 10 to 15%, making Indian goods more competitive globally. Plus, green manufacturing is the explicit pillar, ensuring future growth in clean and sustainable development. So yes, automation changes jobs, but we are responding by building, like high value industrial base for the future jobs which can come. So the bottom line is India is ready for fourth industrial revolution because our industry is optimistic and our policies are aligned. Next point is workflow readiness. India is preparing people, not replacing them. We recognize the challenge that the World Economic Forum says 63% of Indian workers will need reskilling by 2030. We aren't denying this, but we are planning for the same. We built the largest skilling engine through Skill India, PMKVY, that is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and NSDC. Hello.
Sorry. It is from my side. One sec. Huh?
Yeah.
Give me
And
1 sec. I'll we'll compensate for the time.
should I continue?
Yes, continue.
Yeah, we built the largest skilling engine through Skill India, PMKVY, that is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and NSDC, that is National Skill Development Corporation. Training is shifting from traditional trades to future skills like AI, robotics, and data analysis. Industry is fully committed to Indian companies who plan to invest heavily in workforce training over the next 5 years, ensuring employees are getting AI-driven factories. So again, the bottom line is India isn't fearing job displacement. We're upgrading our people for high skill and high wage jobs. So at the end is recognition plus investment is equal to readiness. And lastly, so in conclusion, that this validates that India is ready for fourth industrial revolution with policy alignment, industry adaptation, and massive workforce upskilling. Our manufacturing sector isn't just getting bigger; it's getting like smarter and is built to lead the next industrial production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Shanak, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, product development team.
Yes, sir. मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल है सर?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is India, is India prepared for Industry 4.0 or will it face job displacement and inequality?
Question करना.
1 minute सर. Yeah. इंडिया ऑटोमेशन से हम बात करते हैं। इंडिया तेजी से प्रोग्रेस कर रही है और ये हमारे लिए प्राउड मोमेंट है। लेकिन इम्प्रूवमेंट का मतलब रेडीनेस नहीं होता है। इंडस्ट्री 4.0 सिर्फ मोबाइल असेंबली हो गया, जैसे डिजिटल पेमेंट्स या हाईवे कंस्ट्रक्शन में प्रोग्रेस नहीं है। ये चेक करता है कि पूरा इंडस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम चेक करता है, जैसे स्किल्स, ऑटोमेशन, R&D, लॉजिस्टिक्स, सेफ्टी नेट्स और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी ग्लोबली कॉम्पीट कर सकता है या नहीं। आज का इकोसिस्टम अभी इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है इंडिया का। जैसे देखो, मतलब इंडिया में अभी इंडिया में सिर्फ लाइक वन लाइक 10,000 मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वर्कर पर सिर्फ 4 रोबोट्स है। चाइना में 246 रोबोट्स है और यूएस में 285 रोबोट्स है। साउथ कोरिया में 1,000 रोबोट्स पर लाइक 10,000 वर्कर्स है। तो दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा है। तो एक ही नंबर दिखाता है कि इंडिया और इंडस्ट्री 4.0 वाले कंट्रीज के बीच में कितना गैप है। और इनोवेशन इन्वेस्टमेंट अभी देखो, अब इंडिया जीडीपी का सिर्फ 0.7% लाइक R&D में इन्वेस्ट करता है। चाइना 2.4 इन्वेस्ट करता है और साउथ कोरिया लगभग 4% इन्वेस्ट करता है। यूएस 3.4 करता है। इंडस्ट्री 4.0 इनोवेशन पे बेस्ड है और इंडिया का R&D बेस ही इतना छोटा है, तो कैसे कम्पीट कर सकता है। अभी वर्कफोर्स भी एक अलग ही चैलेंज है और सिर्फ 2% वर्कफोर्स फार्मर स्किल्ड है इंडिया में। और कंपेयर करें OECD कंट्री के 40-60 स्किल्ड वर्कफोर्स के साथ।
शादाब म्यूट करना, शादाब।
या इतनी कम स्किल फोर्स वर्कफोर्स में ऑटोमेशन जॉब्स को क्रिएट करने के बजाय डिस्प्लेसमेंट का रिस्क ज्यादा हो सकता है। तो इंडिया में मतलब 2% ही है, तो ज्यादा रिस्क हो सकता है। तो 98% इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में है। तो अभी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का भी देखते हैं, MSMES का। तो 99.4% इंटरप्राइजेस MSM है। ये जीडीपी का लगभग 30% कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं। लेकिन ज्यादातर के पास ऑटोमेशन सिस्टम्स या रोबोट्स हो गए जैसे एडवांस मशीनरी खरीदने के लिए कैपिटल नहीं होता है इंडिया की कंपनीज में, क्योंकि वो छोटी होती है। कंपेयर करें चाइना के SMES के साथ, वो जीडीपी का लगभग 60% कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं। मतलब इंडिया से डबल ही करती है। इंडिया 30 करता है तो चाइना 60% करता है कंट्रीब्यूट। उनका स्केल बड़ा है और फाइनेंसिंग भी बेटर है। तो इंडिया के मिलियंस इंटरप्राइजेस है, लेकिन ये छोटे, फ्रैगमेंटेड और मतलब अंडर कैपिटलाइज्ड भी है। तो जल्दी इंडस्ट्री 4.0 अडॉप्ट नहीं कर सकता इंडिया। अभी एक इसका अभी लॉजिस्टिक्स का कंपैरिजन देखते हैं। ये ऑलरेडी कर लिया आपने। अभी लॉजिस्टिक्स का कंपैरिजन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का देखते हैं। तो स्किल फिक्स करने के बाद भी लॉजिस्टिक एक चैलेंज है। इंडिया का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट 7.97% ऑफ जीडीपी है। जापान का 3.8% है। यूएसए का 8.7 है। लेकिन रियल डिफरेंस इफिशियंसी और स्पीड में है। पोर्ट्स भी देखो आप, इंडिया के पोर्ट्स में लगे 60 to 70 आवर्स टर्न अराउंड टाइम है। चाइना का 24 आवर्स से भी कम है। वियतनाम से तो 24 to 30 आवर्स में इन बिटवीन है। अभी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेस देखते हैं। इंडिया का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जीडीपी का 60% हिस्सा देता है। लेकिन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स सेक्टर अभी भी ज्यादातर असेंबली बेस्ड है, जहाँ सिर्फ 12 से लाइक 15% वैल्यू एडिशन होता है। तो इस असेंबली मॉडल का नुकसान ये होता है कि प्रॉफिट कम मिलता है पर इनोवेशन लिमिटेड होता है। तो और ऑटोमेशन के टाइम जॉब ज्यादा रिस्क में भी हो सकती है।
ठीक है, टाइम खत्म हो गया।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
ओके अभय, तो आपने हाईवे कंस्ट्रक्शन की बात किया। तो हाईवे कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ कोर्स फर्स्ट जो क्वेश्चन था उसका आंसर में ही हम लोग आंसर दे दिए थे कि कैसे इम्प्रूव कर रहा है और कैसे ड्रास्टिकली इम्प्रूव कर रहा है। रही बात लॉजिस्टिक्स का, तो लॉजिस्टिक्स भी बहुत खराब तो है नहीं। जो पीएलआई है, मतलब जो लॉजिस्टिक्स इंडेक्स है, जहाँ पे दिखाया गया है कि लॉजिस्टिक्स में भी इंडिया बहुत पीछे नहीं है। अराउंड टोटल रैंक है 38। हाँ, आप बोल सकते हो, आप जब कंपेयर किया तो चाइना और वियतनाम से, हालांकि ये क्वेश्चन कंपैरिजन का है नहीं। इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 4 के लिए रेडी है कि नहीं, उसके लिए ये क्वेश्चन है। तो यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन का बात नहीं हो सकता है। एट द सेम टाइम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी का आप बात कर रहे थे, तो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी अगर नहीं बढ़ा होता तो जो फिगर्स हम लोग ऑलरेडी आई थिंक 2-3 बार रिपीट किए हैं, वो फिगर्स आते ही नहीं सामने। चाहे वो किसी भी सेक्टर में, जो भी सेक्टर्स जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हो गया या ऑटोमोबाइल हो गया, ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स या फार्मा हो गया, मैं डोमेस्टिक का ही बात कर रहा हूँ, एक्सपोर्ट्स छोड़ के ही बात कर रहा हूँ। रही बात रीस्किलिंग प्रोग्राम, जो आपने बोला कि स्किल करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है क्योंकि बहुत अनस्किल्ड लेबर्स है, तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारा रीस्किलिंग का प्रोग्राम्स है, जैसा हम लोग दिखाया है इंडिया में, जहाँ पे स्किल इंडिया, चाहे एनएसडीसी हो, और एआई में भी इंडिया एआई स्किल प्रोग्राम्स स्पेसिफिकली लॉन्च किया गया है, जिसके जरिए रीस्किलिंग होता है और आगे भी होगा। तो एट द सेम टाइम आपने जो टर्न अराउंड टाइम दिखाया है, वो टर्न अराउंड टाइम एग्जैक्टली मैं क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूँगा। आप 60 to 70 आवर्स मेंशन किया है, सो एग्जैक्टली कौन सा टर्न अराउंड टाइम आप बोल रहे थे, टैट?
अब वो पोर्ट्स पोर्ट्स का टर्न अराउंड टाइम है, मतलब शिप का वगैरह ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का।
नहीं, वो डेटा तो गलत है। हम लोग तो ऑलरेडी दिखाया है कि पोर्ट्स का टर्न अराउंड 60 to 70 आवर्स है नहीं, 48 आवर्स ऐसे ही है।
48
तो
तब भी
48 आवर्स सिर्फ
तब भी
7 पोर्ट से उनका
वे
है।
जब भी
जो मेजर पोर्ट्स है जहाँ पे आप बोल सकते हो कि एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट ज्यादा होता है, जिसके थ्रू उसका जो एवरेज टर्न अराउंड टाइम है वो 48.06, क्योंकि उससे ही ज्यादा ये एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट होता है, तो
तो अगर
48.06।
ग्लोबल
अब
ग्लोबल कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस की बात
लेकिन
करी जाए, हाँ बोलो, अब तुम बोलो।
लेकिन ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर लाइक एवरेज टाइम देखते हैं ना, कि मतलब ऐसे कुछ मेजर सेक्टर इसका देखते, पोर्ट्स का नहीं देखते ना, टोटल देखते ना एवरेज।
नहीं, मैं एवरेज का बात कर रहा हूँ, जो मेजर पोर्ट्स है उसी का बात कर रहा हूँ, एवरेज टर्न
नहीं
अराउंड टाइम।
इंडिया में टोटल कितने पोर्ट्स हैं?
जो
देख,
8 to 10 टोटल,
ठीक है,
जो
80 to
मेजर
8 to
पोर्ट्स
10
है,
मेजर पोर्ट्स हैं, ठीक है ठीक है। उनका
जो
आप
8 to
एवरेज
10,
बता रहे हो 40 आवर्स, राइट?
हाँ
ठीक है।
48.06
और
ऐसी।
टोटल पोर्ट्स हैं 27, उन सभी का अगर हम एवरेज लेते हैं तो 60 to 70। ओके फाइन। अब दूसरी बात आती है, अगर हम कंपेयर करें चाइना से फॉर कंपैरिजन सेक, चाइना के पास 200 प्लस पोर्ट्स हैं, और उन पूरे 200 प्लस
पहली
पोर्ट्स
बात
का
तो, अच्छा, पहली बात तो ये है कि ये जो कंपेयर कर रहे हैं हम लोग, यहाँ पे कंपेयर क्यों कर रहे हैं चाइना या
चलो,
वियतनाम या जो
अभी
भी?
तुम्हारा रिबटल टाइम है।
हाँ
आ,
हाँ सर, हाँ सर।
हाँ, बोलो, तुम्हारा रिबटल टाइम है प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट।
लॉजिस्टिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मतलब मान लो इम्प्रूव भी हो गया, ठीक भी है, लेकिन लॉजिस्टिक मतलब इससे कॉस्ट भी नहीं हो सकता ना, और भी चीजें मायने रखती है, मतलब जैसे स्पीड भी मायने रखती है, इफिशियंसी। और इंडिया में अभी आपने देखा ही है, देखिए 4 रोबोट है, लाइक 10,000 पे वर्कर्स पे, तो मैन्युअली वर्क हो सकता है। और अगर अब ऑटोमेशन अगर ला भी ले तो बहुत सारे लोगों की जॉब जा सकती है।
सेकंड चीज, यू सेड अबाउट स्किल, PMKVY स्किल्स, राइट? तो अभी अराउंड 1.37 करोड़ जो ट्रेन वर्कर्स हमारे पास हैं, राइट? हमने इतने ट्रेन कर दिए हैं। रिचा रिचा म्यूट कर लो।
किसी का
रिचा
रिचा रिचा प्लीज म्यूट।
रिचा
Yeah, and BFSI, for example, it is in very specific spaces, right? If you have either worked in fintech or in maybe
को म्यूट करो यार।
the other, just understanding of how banks work, how regulators think, because that aspect becomes very important. And again, like you said, iterating, like are the founders iterating, are they
रिचा कॉल करो यार कोई।
better answers for your questions? I think that becomes important to work, whether it's
हाँ बोलो।
तो जो ये लेबर फोर्स को प्रिपेयर करने की बात हो रही थी जिसमें इंडिया ने भी ये प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना का निकाली थी, तो उसमें अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, 3 महीने का सर्टिफिकेट्स दे रहे हैं सभी को, ठीक है। और अगर ग्राउंड रियलिटी पर जाओगे तो अराउंड कितने हाफ ऑफ द सेंटर्स तो ब्लैकलिस्ट हो गए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द फेक सर्टिफिकेट्स। क्योंकि क्या ग्राउंड रियलिटी तो फिर ऐसा है, तुम सिर्फ फॉर्म भर रहे हो, जा भी नहीं रहे हो करने, और तुम्हें सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाता है, ठीक है। तुम्हें एक मशीन का मैनुअल तक पढ़ना नहीं आता है अच्छे से, कुछ करना नहीं आता, और वो सर्टिफिकेट दे रहे हैं। तो ये आई डोंट थिंक ये किस तरह का स्किल्स डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है। ये ग्राउंड रियलिटी तो बिल्कुल ज़ीरो है यहाँ पे, ठीक है। और क्या बोला था।
और
हो
स्किल
गया।
गेन मतलब अभी स्ट्रॉन्ग सेफ्टी नेट्स भी नहीं है ना, मतलब इंडिया के पास तो मतलब इससे वर्कर्स को प्रोटेक्ट कर सके जो।
हाँ, सेकेंड चीज यू सेड अबाउट ग्रीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। इंडिया में ग्रीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग चल रही है, दिस इज अ प्लर, राइट। बट अगर तुम देखो तो अभी भी इंडिया का 70% ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जो पावर है वो कोल से चलती है, ठीक है। और लास्ट ईयर ही 8% एमिशन बढ़ा है, राइट। तो इट्स जस्ट अ स्टिकर ऑन अ डर्टी फैक्ट्री, आई थिंक, नथिंग एल्स। तो ग्रीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सिर्फ बातों में है, इन रियलिटी उसका यूज़ नहीं हो पा रहा है, इतना स्केलिंग नहीं हो पा रही है। अब भाई
ठीक
और कुछ।
है।
हम्म या सो
Okay, let's give ourselves 10 minutes to just review. एक मिनट। हाँ हाँ, गो अहेड, गो अहेड। ऑडियंस का टाइम है।
Sir, so basically the question for both the teams, and the question is that you both have any data related with steel
व्हाट
स्टील रिलेटेड कोई डेटा है आप दोनों टीम के पास?
क्या
बिकॉज
रिलेटेड?
हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात कर रहे हैं और स्टील की कोई बात नहीं हुई अभी तक। आपने जस्ट अभी कोल की बात
स्टील
की।
स्टील मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बोल रहे हो आप?
या आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्टील मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। तो इंडिया इज द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट स्टील प्रोड्यूसर, so you both team have any data related to steel?
नहीं, स्टील का स्पेसिफिक तो कोई डेटा है नहीं। ऑफ कोर्स स्टील के ऊपर रिसर्च नहीं किया है।
Okay, because the India is the world second largest steel producer, you know, so that's why I'm asking for both the team. एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात आ रही है तो स्टील की भी बात आनी चाहिए, और कोल की जैसे अभी सुमित ने कहा है, सुमित ने तो कोल का बोल ही दिया है। मैं भी वही सोच रहा था कि स्टील और कोल की बात नहीं हुई अभी तक कुछ भी, तो दैट्स फाइन।
स्टील का क्या
So Deep, you said that one thing, 63% of the workers, okay, need to be skilled in 2030. Okay, 63%. Okay. So whatever programs we have, okay, the National Skill Development Program, whatever programs are there, is that sufficient for us to skill those workers? Okay, because at the same time, other countries, okay, first thing you said, we cannot compare with other countries, okay, which I think is not correct. Okay, because if you just compare within India, okay, we'll not know how we are performing compared to the global benchmark. Okay, so we'll think that we are performing, but actually compared to other countries, we are not at all performing. And FDI's inflow might not increase in the future. Okay, because those countries at the same time are trying to upskill their workers with the latest technology. Okay, which is like robotics or something. Okay, AI, robotics, everything. Okay, so in that sense, currently as of now, it's just 2.5% of the skill force, okay, which we have, okay, for any of the industry. So what do you think about this thing? Like you said, 63%. So is the current, okay, whatever schemes are there by the government, okay, for upskilling the people, is just sufficient to be competitive enough in the global, means be competitive enough, okay, to start working in the industry or to be up to the mark as per the automation?
See, every process, for instance, whatever data we have shown, it has only confirmed one thing, that uh, every data has actually increased. It hasn't decreased, right? So, towards a positive side, I would just like to understand and highlight one thing, that it has increased because there is an evolution in place, right? In terms of manpower, in terms of systems, in terms of automation, everything. Coming to your question, also, I would say uh, whatever development programs, skill development programs government has, and let's say to reskill over 60% of workers, if the government finds that that is not enough, then of course there will be evolution, the system will evolve, right? It won't remain the same. Banking system, for instance, or let's say any manufacturing system, in terms of, let's say, whether it's electronics or automobile, it's not the same right now compared to 10 years back. So my point is very simple, that over a period of time, definitely it will also evolve, so that all the workers or the potential workers can be trained
Okay.
and can be made competitive.
Okay, we got your point.
Right.
Both sides, I got your point, right?
Okay.
I mean, of course, I have the results. I know which team did better. But overall, I think we are missing the point. We missed the spirit of this debate, right? We followed it to the letter, but we missed the spirit of the debate. The purpose of this debate is to help us think as a community, as the doesn't damage community, what exactly is the math problem, right? Unless we understand the math of this problem, we are not going to find a solution, right? We have 35 minds here, right? After the end of this debate, I expect at least 5 of these minds to be tilted towards contributing to the manufacturing industry of India, right? And you can only achieve that if you understand the math of the problem. So I think both sides kind of missed the purpose of the debate. The purpose of the debate was to highlight how do we fill the gap? What do we need to do to fill the gap? We just can't keep saying that politicians are the ones who have to do this. We have to think through the math. I mean, you take all the global leaders, they figure out the math of the problem they're trying to solve. And that's where our focus needs to be. Just saying that we are incrementally improving or just saying that we cannot beat the other side does not get us to a solution. We have to be able to solve the problem. Right? Do you agree or do you disagree with the direction we should have taken in the paper?
I think, sir, RCA needs to be done. Or the root analysis has to be done, wherein in depth, to identify exactly what are the root problems that
Right.
the country is facing with respect to manufacturing,
Right.
and then we can actually sort out the issue, right?
Because what looks like a hurdle is really an opportunity, na?
Correct.
And doesn't Diamonds is not just going to keep doing, solving problems for brokers for the entire eternity of its existence. It has to move to newer problems, right? The whole purpose of this debate is to make us think out of the box and identify why we are behind and how do we solve it as a math problem before we solve it as a money problem, as a resource problem, as a education problem. We have to first solve it as a math problem, right? Chalo, I have the results. Basically, the scores are 103 to 137. Product development team cruised ahead this time around and it got 138 points. It did well both in logic and in research. Presentation wise, both teams were equal. So congratulations, product development team. Before the debate, Abhay was so nervous, so nervous. I've never seen somebody so nervous about debating, about talking. But I mean, they both came out with flying colors. Congratulations to them. What this means basically is that the first semi-final is going to be who's on? Who's on? Where's the background sound coming?
I think it's man, sir. Sorry.
अच्छा अच्छा 1 मिनट बंद कर लो तो The first semi-final is going to be between the instructor team and the product development team. It's amazing how far the product development team has come. And it is amazing the resilience the marketing team has shown. It has continuously improved and done well. I mean, they have also not just improved themselves, but they have improved the standard of the debates by setting a particular trend in which the debates are being taken in. So, congratulations to both the teams. Instructor team and product development team will have the coin toss to decide who's going to get the chance to pick the topic. Is Nishant available?
Yes, available, sir. I'm available.
Is somebody available from the product development team side?
Pratik.
Yeah. Oh, you are available. Adrian is available. Yeah. Okay, great. So who's going to pick the coin toss? I'm just going to flip the coin. Once I flip, one of you has to decide to pick whether you pick heads or tails.
I would like to pick the set.
Okay. Nishant, you're going to pick. I'm going to flip. As soon as I flip, you have to select heads or tails. Okay?
Yes.
Select. क्या यार selecting होता है क्या? अभी हो गया toss उसके बाद बोलो. When I click the button, when the coin starts rolling, you have to pick. Okay?
हाँ.
1, 2, 3.
Heads.
Tails. क्या है? Tails है ना ये? Okay, so Adrian, you get to decide what side you want to pick for the next debate. You
What's
can
the
take a
topic?
day. Huh?
Topic?
Topic is brokerage.
Will reducing brokerage charges hurt or help the brokers?
Okay, give me a day's time. I'll just discuss with the team and we'll pick up the side.
Sure.
Okay.
You are having an excellent product development team. All the best. Okay.
Thank you, and congratulations to Deep too. You already did well.
Yeah. No, they have moved to the second semi-final.
Yeah. No, but they performed well today. That's the thing. So congratulations to them too.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, and all the best to both the
did
teams.
well, but we need to really figure out this problem. This problem, solving this problem as a math problem can decide the direction of dozen diamonds. So.
Right.
Good night, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You all.